Get serious. Eric Ineos has backed at the manager Eric Ten Hag on issues to do with players that he favors and protects. The latest coming through from Manchester United is that Eric Ten Hag has been forced to sell Antony Dos Santos. Welcome to the United Hotspot. My name is Webb. As the new era of Sir Jim Ratcliffe continues every day, something drops from Manchester United. Now, what we are gathering today is that Antony, one of the guys I think most of the United supporters would want to see out of this club at the next available opportunity, has apparently now been put up for sale. And it's been, of course, after Eric Ten Hag trying to defend him and back him for all reasons that we wouldn't know. Well, Ten Hag right now is left with no options, as Sir Jim and Ineos have made it clear that they will be accepting offers for Antony as soon as they can, meaning in the next summer, any club that will be interested in signing our £86 million flop can come in and take the guy. Now, they have not yet set a price tag for him, but you don't expect it to be so much, honestly. What they want is just to get rid of some of these top earners, because Antony is one of the top earners at Manchester United. They have never been impressed by his performances. His levels have never convinced anyone that he's a Man United player except Eric Ten Hag. Now, Ten Hag has been forced to cash in on him, and that's part of course, the clean out that's that's going on at Manchester United. I told you that these days at Carrington are so full of pressure. Now, there are options, by the way, because he has got a contract running, and in the event that no offer comes up for him, because it's possible, in the event that no club wants to buy Antony, apparently it is because of players like Antony that Sir Jim has suggested to his team, headed by Omar Berada, to devise means of coming up with a performance-based payment structure. Now, that one will force players out, because trust me, not so many players who have been used to earning £200,000 per week for doing nothing will be patient with earning based on your performances. If you're not performing, you're not getting paid. So it sounds unheard of, but they're looking at ways to devise something like that, to structure that. Now, of course, that's a big task there for Omar Berad and the Ineos team. But all these are ideas to create solutions to the big problems we've been seeing at Manchester United. We need value for money. Ineos is running this football like a proper business that should be making sense. Well, for me, I'll just applaud that when I hear it. Now, hearing that Antony is up for sale, and I know really for a fact that even Saudi clubs might not come out there and say they want him, because I don't think really in terms of his football he will change a lot wherever he would go. Well, he's still young. I don't want to write him off. At Ajax, he did what he did. I was still not the biggest fan of his even at Ajax anyway. But Eric Ten Hag has been forced into a corner, saying cash in on Antony and several other players like Rafael Varane as well. And Varane has continuously said he would be interested in staying either at Manchester United or trying to chase a career still in Europe, even if there is big interest in him from Saudi Arabia. But of course, you know how these French players are and how proud and arrogant they can be. He's saying, no, I belong to Europe. But the latest coming through is that it's highly likely that Rafael Varane will not start Man United, and Real Madrid have been reportedly interested in taking him and Casemiro back. There are those reports we've been seeing. Of course, we don't know how true they are yet. I think we've got closer sources in Man U than Real Madrid, but there are those reports suggesting that Real Madrid would be interested in taking both Varane and Casemiro back. I'm not sure that would be progress for them, but perhaps them being legends of the club, if they want to play in Europe a season more, perhaps they would give them that exit and of course try to you know how Real Madrid is. Look at Luka Modric. How old is he? He's still playing there. Look at Tony Kroos. He's still got a lot of football in him. So they will still make all the football out of you if they think they can. But also their experience, perhaps they feel, could come in handy for Carlo Ancelotti and his rebuild of this Real Madrid. So there are those reports, but the most important one is for Antony, because there's been a bit of a weird silence about Antony, and no one was somehow speaking about him, like he wasn't there, like he was hiding. And I told you a few weeks ago, I think I told you that there will be nowhere to hide under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and here we are. They are beginning to undress each of these players one after the other. So Antony You should be celebrating for those of you who want him out, because of course nothing personal. I think he's one of those unique characters. He's a bit humble. I saw he waved at me while I was waiting for players to come in at Old Trafford before the game against Tottenham. He waved at me really, and yeah, that was good. But I mean, it's not enough. You do not pay 200,000 quid to wave. You not bought for 86 million pounds and pay 200,000 pounds per week to wave at supporters, to wave at web. No, you've got to play football. So Sir Jim is not impressed. So they are looking to remember the ultimate target for Omar Berada is to reduce the wage bill of Man United, but also to trim this squad to a manageable and reasonable number. And exactly players like this, obviously, it makes sense that they should go out. The very worst that could happen with Antony in the event that no bids come, in the event that the option of paying players according to their performances doesn't work and doesn't make sense, because I think it would have to be approved as well by the Premier League or the FA and UEFA maybe. I think the other option would be loaning him out. Now, of course, there are clubs, so many clubs that would be willing to take him. Perhaps even Ajax could be the first one to take him back, because in Ajax, Antony should be a legend, shouldn't he? But he's one of those we are looking to offload. Now, he's not, I've told you about Antony, I've told you Varane and Casemiro. Now, of course, for Eriksen, we know what's happening. For Anthony Martial, we know he's leaving. And it has been confirmed that the United will be prioritizing getting a serious striker. They have not yet defined the kind of striker they expect, but they expect a serious striker to come out there and back Rasmus Højlund. So you see that the work has started. It has been seriously accelerated, and very soon we could be hearing reports of which players are now are being tipped to leave, being confirmed to leave Manchester United even before the end of the season. The idea is for Sir Jim and Ineos to be as transparent with the supporters of Man United as they can be, and for me, that's the way to go if we are going to believe in this whole Sir Jim Ratcliffe rebuild and project. For me, it's big kudos to the team and what they're doing. The fact that they're making moves so fast, for me, I love to see that. I simply love to see that happen. Now, there has been, of course, we know that Omar Fosun has got a contract that expires I think in the summer. And there's reports suggesting that Man United has tabled a contract extension for him. And yeah, whereas he did not really have your best of performances in his first senior start, I honestly think he's a young player, and really, these players don't earn a lot of money. Obvious for those players like Fosun. I think for me, if they're offering him a stay to try with hope that he would look good, for me, I have no issues. I think I'm for protecting these academy kids, these young players. For me, I've got a lot of potential, and for me, I wouldn't have issues with Omar Fosun staying at Manchester United maybe a little longer. Give him a little short contract and monitor him and see how it develops as a player. Probably by the time Erik Ten Hag trusts him like that, he certainly has something in him. So no issues about Omar Fosun. He's not really our top earner. He's just a boy progressing and trying to establish himself as an important player, which I strongly believe it can be, because the future of Manchester United is mostly in these youngsters. Now, to break your heart as I wind this up, Marcus Rashford, apparently, that's a report coming through suggesting that Rashford is committed to Manchester United. Now, listen, Marcus, yes, we've needed you to be committed to this project for so long, and you've disappointed us. For the most part of this season, honestly, at this point in time, your commitment can be proved if you agree to leave and we get serious money from you. That for me is more important than you staying. So for me, whether Rashford is committed, whether he goes to a priest and swears in front of all United supporters live on a live stream that he's committed to United, for me, the best show of commitment from Rashford would be him actually putting in a transfer request to leave and join Paris Saint-Germain. That for me would be the best show of commitment from him. The best thing we need from Rashford now is the 80 to 100 million pounds we can get from Paris Saint-Germain. That's for me. My name is Webb. This is the United Hotspot. Subscribe. Let me catch you later.